Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Planescape Torment with me, BringItDon. Alright, so we're going to start talking to people, and we'll explore these unmarked locations as well as we go. We're going to talk to Diligence, that's not important. Drunken Mage. This older man is staring into a stein of ale, misery etched into his features. The battered pewter mug is an unusual one, lightly engraved with strange runes and bearded faces, and covered with a coat of thin frost. He looks up as you approach him. Greetings, sir. He seems slightly tipsy. What's wrong? He sighs, belches into his hand, and nods as he takes another pull of ale. Something's wrong, alright. I've gone and lost my apprenticeship. Well, hungover I was, and botched my mentor's last experiment. All for this darn drink. He sneers at the mug in his hand, but in seconds his expression softens, and he takes another swig. Ruins everything it does, this darnable drinking of mine. Why don't you stop drinking, then?
Updated my journal.
He shrugs and sighs miserably. I simply cannot. I want to, but I cannot. I just need to drink. I try and stay away, but desire eventually overcomes me, and I cannot resist. Such a wreck I've become. He throws back the last of his ale and calls for more. I see. What's that mug you've got there? This? He looks down at the pewter mug. I won this in a dice game. It's enchanted to keep whatever's in it freezing cold. In my case, cheap ale. He frowns, rubs at his eyes, and takes another swig of his drink. Okay.
Done.
Interesting. Abel Ponderthought. I'm going to save Namel for right now. Abel Ponderthought. This older man looks somewhat bookish. His clothing and accessories are extremely clean, neat and well cared for, and he often pauses to brush some fleck of dust or lint off of them. A symbol resembling a stylized dagger, piercing upwards through a flame, is embroidered upon his tunic. I almost said nunic. Greetings. The man's eyes pass over you, gleaming as they fix on Mort. Oh, I say, would you look at that? A floating skull. Mort turns and looks behind him. Where? Where? The man gasps, by the unjust laws of Tyranny the Merciless. Who? He suddenly covers his mouth and looks at Anna apologetically. Sorry. The man was a horrible tyrant, now long dead. His name should never be spoken, so... 'tis rather vulgar. My deepest apologies, my lady. I did not mean to offend. Anna shrugs, rolling her eyes. Talk as you like, Cutter. I care not a whit for what you say. Unless you rattle in your bone box about me, that is. Try and get his attention. He turns back to Mort. But behold, a skull, buoyant, levitating off the ground, cognitive of its environment and possessing hearing, speaking, and seeing capabilities. He turns to you as if you were suddenly a confidant. This is truly one of the reasons that the plains shall never become dull to me, sir. Just when you think you've seen everything, the plains show you yet another corner to peer around, and... He raises his hands gloriously. Suddenly, whole new, wondrous vistas are open to you. Actually, the talking floating skull thing is quite common, right up there with self-resurrecting amnesiacs scouring Sigil for their lost identities. The man ignores you, looking to Mort instead. I say, skull. He begins. Mort gasps. Look behind you. Another floating skull. Let Mort have his fun. The man seems to have forgotten you entirely, instead turning in shock to look for this other floating skull. No? Where? Where? Right where I'm pointing. There. Where? I cannot see it. Mort speaks with mock exasperation. You just missed it. A whole parade of them. Probably never happened again in a million revolutions of the Great Ring. He turns and harumphs. I sense you also possess a peculiar degree of mockery. Mort bobs slightly as if shrugging. I prefer to refer to it as keen insights into human nature. Get the man's attention again. He suddenly seems to see you for the first time. The man's eyes widen. By the unjust laws of tyranny, He catches himself, looking apologetic. I say, are you alright? You look... He fumbles for the words. Hurt. I'm alright. It hurts to look at him, it does. Very amusing, Anna. I had some questions, sir. The man nods, eagerly. Of course. I'm always most happy to answer what questions I can, young sir. I had questions about you. Me? Certainly. Who are you? Why, my name is Abel Ponderthought. Okay. What do you do here? I passed my administrator exam just recently, and have achieved the status of an A9, a research consultant in the Hall of Records, one of the many aides of specializing in Sigil's physical laws and history. I research topics and laws of interest to others. It is quite fascinating, really. I'm sure it is, bud. What's that symbol embroidered on your tunic mean? Why, 'tis a symbol of the Fraternity of Order. We're responsible for much of the lawmaking and running the courts here in Sigil. Many judges, advocates, and clerks are members of our order, and we are pleased to be able to help enforce Sigil's laws and keep things orderly. We make a strident effort to learn all laws, whether they pertain to Sigil, the planes, or the multiverse itself. What does the Fraternity of Order believe?
Updated my journal.
The Fraternity of Order believes that the multiverse is governed by laws. When one knows all the laws, one will understand the multiverse. That is our goal. By understanding the laws, their limits, we learn to avoid certain laws. If you don't mind me asking, what sort of benefits are in the position? Well, our fraternity allows us to read languages quite easily. We may use some rules of the multiverse on occasion to suit our benefits. Interesting. Okay, other questions about this place? I know little of this part of the Clerk's Ward, sir, but please, ask. Why is it called the Clerk's Ward? It is the seat of much of Sigil's record halls and administration. The staff at these places give the ward its name. Many clerks, scribes, priests, bureaucrats, and administration officials live in this ward. Okay. What's of interest around here? There's some of the finest advocates in Sigil located here. The Civic Fest Hall, home of the Society of Sensation, is also located nearby. He lowers his voice, in the brothel, sir, of slating intellectual lusts. Tell me of the advocate. He is also one of the Fraternity of Order, though his time there has been ebbed somewhat since the unfortunate troubles he has experienced. I'm not one to speak of them. His residence is just across the way, south and east of here. Okay. Tell me of the Fest Hall. It is a beautiful structure that is both the headquarters of the Society of Sensation and acts as a hall for the arts here in Sigil and the Plains. It is an opera house, museum, art gallery, wine shop, tavern, training hall, theater, sensoriums, many things can be found there. Tell me about the Society of Sensation.
Updated my journal.
The Society of Sensation. They're one of the most prominent of Sigil's 15 factions. They hold the belief that the true dark of the multiverse can be known only by directly experiencing as much of the multiverse as possible, tasting every substance, feeling every range of emotion, and visiting every place in the multiverse. Continue to listen. He continues. Their faction headquarters is at the Civic Fest Hall, where they seek to bring experiences to all of Sigil. At the moment, they are the most numerous faction in all Sigil, and the most powerful. If I'm not mistaken, the most recent census of their members is over 20,000 members. Okay. How did I get to this one? What? Alright, I'm curious about the factions. Yes, there are 15 factions in Sigil. Once there were 49 factions, then about 600 years ago, the Lady of Pain let it be known that only 15 would remain. That was known as the Great Upheaval. He continues. And sure enough, in a fortnight, 34 of them perished or faded. Many thousands died by sword or by other means. Many were simply found dead. I myself am a member of the Fraternity of Order. Others include the Believers of the Source, the Dustmen, the Harmonium, the Mercy Killers, the Revolutionary League, the Society of Sensation, and the Zalcetex. Tell me of the Fraternity of Order. I already know that. I already know who those are. Let's talk about the Mercy Killers.
My journal.
The Mercy Killers believe that justice is everything. Malin, their last factal, once said that when properly applied, punishment leads to perfection. He continues. Those new to Sigil oftentimes commit the error of thinking their name implies that they kill out of mercy. Rather, though, is that they seek to kill mercy itself. The faction members take it upon themselves to punish the guilty of Sigil, whatever the cost. Okay, other factions. I'll tell you about the Revolutionary League.
Updated my journal.
They're also called the Anarchists. Not many know this, but the Revolutionary League is actually quite widespread in Sigil, and a shame that is too. They hold the misguided belief that all institutions have been established to block their access to the truth of the multiverse. The only way they see to discover the truth is to tear down all organization. They claim that the truth can only be discovered when people are completely free. He shakes his head. I often wish that they would open their eyes to the truth around them. They do nothing but blind themselves and block everyone's access to the truth. He gives a long sigh, then wags his finger disapprovingly, as if talking to some imaginary bad child. It's interesting to note that they have no real plans for seeking the truth, past tearing down everything that they can see. Very interesting indeed. He frowns. It is also of interest that while the Revolutionary League has a large number of members, the very nature of their faction causes these members to work counter to each other's interests. Often, cells fight amongst each other, each one claiming to know the proper way to go about tearing everything down. Okay. We already know about the Harmonium. They're basically police officers. Zalsatex of the Chaos Men.
My journal.
He rumps. Rabble-rousers. Not a proper faction at all, that raggedy bunch. Why even the Revolutionary League is more organized. The Zalsatex think that, by embracing chaos, they'll somehow discover the secrets of the multiverse. Ridiculous notion. Alright, we'll ask about all of them. Alright. We've already talked about that. Tell me about the Believers of the Source.
My journal.
The Believers of the Source, or Godsmen, believe that every living thing in the multiverse has the potential to become a power. He continues. The Godsmen have their headquarters in the Great Foundry, and they have helped to keep peace in Sigil in a number of matters. They have no desire to see any creature placed in the Dead Book before it has a chance to reach its potential. I myself uphold their beliefs. You sound as if you disagree with them. I find their philosophy respectable, good for Sigil and its people in every way, but it's far too simple. How do you expect to discover the secrets of the multiverse merely by living well? Will such knowledge appear spontaneously at one fateful day, at last enlightening one of your myriad incarnations? If such things even exist. But I see, sir, that you have little time for debate. I'll drop the matter. Okay. Tell me of the Dustmen.
Updated my journal.
The Dustmen believe that we are already dead, that Sigil and the planes are where we all end up after we die. According to their beliefs, everything is dead and this existence is a false one. To keep any ties or feelings for this existence only prevents a soul from truly dying. He continues. You see, the Dustmen believe that death in this existence is a matter of degree, and only those who are truly dead and have divested themselves of all ties to this existence can hope to be at peace. A philosophy that has some basis in fact, but much of it bears further examination. Harmonium.
Updated my journal.
The Harmonium is devoted to peace and harmony throughout the planes, thus their name. They believe that the end justifies the means, however, and so are willing to do just about anything to get a fellow to see things their way. Regardless of one's personal opinion of them, they do a fine job of policing Sigil streets. And... okay. Know of any work available locally? None of the temporary sort, no. Okay. What do you know of Ravel Puzzlewell? Ravel, if she truly existed, and there is little to prove that she did, was a night hag, one of the inhabitants of the Grey Waste, one of the lower planes, and believed by some to be the worst of the lower planes. Continue to listen. He continues. As the legend goes, Ravel was mazed several centuries ago. I said it right, but it felt weird. She was believed to being a mistress of many strange magics, and apparently her presence in Sigil constituted a threat to the lady. I'm afraid that I know little about her. Mazed? The mazes. They're creations by the lady, you see. She takes a small piece of Sigil, copies it, then uses a portal to place the copied bit into the deep ethereal. Once there, the piece of Sigil then becomes a demiplane, an endless maze that curls and twists about itself. He continues. The lady uses these mazes to imprison anyone who threatens her power. Once she has determined that you are to be imprisoned, there is no escaping them. There is believed to be a way out of each maze, but it's most likely extremely difficult. Or if you get extremely lucky, you just pop right on out. Oh yeah, tell me about the brothel. We never talked about that. He nods, looking somewhat embarrassed. Yes, well, I am known to go there for the conversation. He glances at Anna, then flushes an even deeper red. There's a large round building in the center of this part of the ward. Okay. Alright, let's go in here. I'll talk to the barkeeper and, Namel.
Alright.
You know what? Let me make sure I have the decanter on my main character here. Okay. I know what it looks like. I don't see it. I think my decanter is gone. Uh-oh. Maybe we won't talk to Namel yet, because I don't want to exhaust the option of learning the But where would it be at? I didn't get rid of it. I don't think I accidentally sold it, did I? Can you sell the decanter? I wonder if it was in his inventory when he was skull-dapped by Lothar's henchman. I feel like I would have picked it up though, right? Oh man. Make sure it's not like someone's quick use items. It's not. Oh. I still had it after I talked to Glyver in the catacombs, right? Alright, I don't know if the merchants keep the stuff that you sell to them. I'm gonna go back and check the merchants real quick. I know it's not super exciting content, but it's gonna bother me if I don't go check. So I'll talk to the merchants here, then I'll run back to the marketplace in the hive and check there as well. Trades, let's barter. I probably won't need all that stuff anymore, the forging stuff, but I'll hold on to it for now anyway. Alright. Yeah, I don't know if they... Yeah, it looks like they keep hold of the stuff you sell them, so... Well, I don't know if I sold him anything.
Alright.
Alright, so... Let's check with all the merchants. Yeah, these are all just scrolls, not a big deal. Oh man, this sucks.
Alright.
So Mort was captured over here. His pile of stuff was over here somewhere. Alright, I am going to do something real quick. I'm going to turn into a fighter. This guy can train you to be... Yeah, I want to be a warrior. Can you train me in the way? Well, why not? You sure you want to give up your current profession? Yes, I'm sure. What exactly do you want training in? Can you tell me if I'm ready for more instruction? I think I could teach you a bit more. I'm ready. What can you teach me? What you be wanting to learn? Teach me how to use daggers. Daggers, eh? Well, I can teach you if you want. Yes, I'd like to learn to use this weapon. Well, here you go. You ready? Yes. Alright, and basically I'm just going to do the same thing. He should be able to teach me until level 5. Oh, nothing more I can teach you right now, not unless you devoted your whole life to being a warrior. You gotta specialize in being a warrior if you want to get better. You've not got that devotion to the fighting craft. Only when you've turned your body into a weapon can you learn more from me.
Updated
Right.
my journal.
Endure.
I think...
In enduring, grow strong.
I don't think he can turn me into a mage,
What
can he?
is your will?
No.
Alright.
Let's go back. We'll turn... let me go check, Bagpicker's Square real quick.
I'm gone.
It's possible I sold it to her. I have no idea. I have no idea where it went. But I'm gonna have her turn me back into a mage regardless.
Updated my journal.
Let's see. I am very concerned about the decanter around this water not being in my inventory. I'm thinking it was in Mort's inventory. Because I don't think I picked up everything off the ground when he was skull-napped. But I really feel like I would have picked up the decanter around this water if it was there. But we'll check the merchants. The only ones I've used are this one and the one right above them. So we'll check here real quick, and I don't see anything. I don't think that you can sell the decanter. I mean, you might. Yeah, I didn't sell it to anybody. I think I left it on the ground. That sucks. Shoot. I might be able to fix it with a console command. I don't have console commands set up currently. Well, that sucks.
Done.
Alright, well, let's go talk to the barkeep. I won't talk to Namel yet. Off camera, what I might do is try to get the why is that not? Oh, because I changed professions. That sucks.
I'm gone.
Alright, the smiling man nods cheerfully at you as you approach. Welcome to my cafe, good sir. What might I serve you? Some wine, perhaps? No wine, but I had some questions. The man gives you a helpless sort of look. Humblest apology, sir, but I make it a policy to serve drinks and nothing more. She'll have to wait What? She'll have to look elsewhere for conversation, I'm afraid. Are you certain you wouldn't like a drink? Or some bread and cheese, perhaps? No, I don't need anything. Farewell.
I'm gone. Done.
I know there are console commands for the game, but you have to go in and activate them.
I'm gone.
So I might be able to add it to my inventory and take care of that quest. Not gone below yet. Let's keep circling around. Performance artist. This man's face has been painted white. A pair of arched eyebrows has been penciled onto his brow with red powder, and red powder has been used to make small circles on his cheeks and accentuate his lips. Oh, I am struggling. I'm distracted because I lost my decanter. He says something, but you can't hear him. His hands are pressed up against what looks to be an invisible wall. See if you can touch him. Reach out to touch the man, but your hand is stayed by some unseen force. The performance artist appears to be trapped in some sort of invisible box or cage.
Done.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Is areas marked? Yeah. Won't go in those yet. Aylwin. This tall, slender woman occasionally looks up from her cup of wine to scan the surrounding patrons and passersby. Her facial features elegantly exotic, and her eyes, a brilliant golden color, catch the light, sparkling as she looks about. Greetings. She regards you carefully for a moment before replying. She speaks slowly and carefully, avoiding direct eye contact with you. I, Aylwin, return your greetings. Are you looking for someone? She nods, staring wistfully into her cup of wine. Namel is her name, a friend of mine. Aylwin's. I, Aylwin, worry for her in this place, and wonder why she hasn't come to meet me. Aylwin, yet. Okay, I could help you find your friend.
Updated my journal.
You would do this? She looks up from her cup, smiling, and you suddenly overcome with a sense of hope and joyous gratitude. Seeing you tense up, she covers her mouth and averts her eyes once more, and the feelings fade to nothing. I, Aylwin, thank you. What was that? What was what, kind stranger? She bites her lower lip. I, Aylwin, know not of what you speak. Very well. What does this Namel look like? She appears as I, Aylwin, do, but with raven hair and eyes of bright violet. I'll tell her you're waiting for her. I will tell her you're waiting here for her, then. Farewell. Man, reading is hard, guys. Let's see, the smiling man nods cheerfully at you as you approach. Welcome to my cafe, good sir. What might I serve you? Some wine, perhaps? No wine, but had some questions. Same exact thing, that's a little weird. It's like a mirror of the other side of the map.
Done.
Wait, aspiring sensate. Artist. This attractive pale-faced girl smiles at you, motioning toward a book full of charcoal sketches. Greetings and well met, good sir. My name is Olana. I am an artist by trade, and would gladly make a fine sketch of you for but 5 copper commons. I can make a serious sketch if you like, or a caricature. No thanks, farewell. I kinda want one. She smiles, but somewhat sadly. Farewell then. Please do not hesitate to return should you change your mind. I wanted a picture of myself.
I'm gone.
The game forced me not to get one. Elo brand, or Elo brand.
All right.
What's up?
Let's talk to this guy.
Done.
This old woman examines you closely with her sharp, gray eyes. First your face, then your arms and various tattoos. Greetings, Scarred One. Come to speak with Ellobrand, have ye? Come to have your fortune told, mayhap? For a paltry 5 coins? Yeah, tell me my fortune. Ellobrand places your coins in her belt pouch and takes your hands. She quietly studies your palms, frowning deeply. At long last she speaks. Some rare folk are what's called fateless, you see. They wander through their lives doing as they see fit, creating their own destinies. You have no fortune to tell, Scarred One. None at all. I have nothing to tell ye, so here is your coin. She returns your 5 coppers. Alright, I see. I had some questions. And I speak of things mundane, Scarred One. In that case, farewell. Hold ye one moment, Scarred One. Ellobrand reaches out, touching your arm. My mother gave me something once, long ago. A scroll sealed with wax. A hooded man had entrusted it to her, and said that a man such as ye would one day unwittingly come to claim it. Here, I would have ye take it now. What is it? Ellobrand shakes her head, frowning. I do not know. She has sworn never to read the thing, and I obeyed her request to leave the seal unbroken, myself. The man had paid her handsomely to take the scroll, but warned her of the direst consequences should she open it. Well, thanks then, farewell. Suspicious sealed scroll. The scroll has been tightly bound with red ribbon and sealed with wax. You can't put your finger on it, but you've got a bad feeling about the thing, as if opening and reading the scroll could be somehow dangerous. Quick save. Alright, let's do it. This is an old, fading, innocuous-looking parchment scroll, bound with a single red ribbon and smelling faintly of mildew. The ribbon is held in place with a plain wax seal. Break the seal, open the scroll, read it.
Updated my journal.
The scroll contains a few lines of shaky calligraphy in a strange rune. The calligraphy reads, "This may not kill you, but it will slow you down, I am sure. Stop chasing me, you thieving bastards. It's my body, mine, mine, mine. Now die." What the? The rune suddenly throbs, and the entire scroll begins to dissolve into a stinking black mess. The fluid seeps directly into the flesh of your hands. In seconds, the magical hemotoxin begins to render your blood into black bile. For a moment, you clutch at yourself, howling in agony, and then the pain subsides. You have survived whatever horrible magic was placed upon the scroll. Done. Did it do anything to me? Oh, it just hurt me. Okay.
All right.
Is that enough constitution to survive it? Cool.
Oh, I'd love to diddle your doodle.
It was a pretty significant amount of damage. Let's talk to Old Poet. This kindly looking old man spares you only the briefest of glances before returning to his recitation. Heckle the Poet. You heckle and jeer at the poet, making fun of his style of verse, appearance, and postulated home life. You top it off by interrupting a few of his verses and completing them with bawdy rhymes of your own, which draws some chuckles from onlookers and sets the old poet, doing his best to ignore you, to gritting his teeth. Alright. Eli Havelock. Havelock. Is that the name of the pirate? That, movie and, manga? It's like Space Pirate Captain or is it Harlock? I don't remember. Anyway. I only watched the movie. I'm not actually familiar with the, with that series. This narrow-eyed, short-faced man is scanning his surroundings with a look of vague disinterest, pausing occasionally to look down and pick at his fingernails. Despite being clothed in silk and velvet finery, he managed to look unsavory and more than a little dangerous. Greetings. The man looks your way. His eyes are dark slits, like narrow stab wounds beneath his brow. His voice is low and gruff, despite his slender build. Pike off. Not yet. I had some questions. You think I wandered the ward looking for strangers to spill dark for? Now pike off. Why are you here, then? To be surly with passers-by? Heh. He stands quietly for a moment, then breaks a crooked smile. That's good, that. He considers you for a moment. I'm a tutor at the Civic Fest Hall. Name's Havelock. Eli Havelock. As a veteran scout, I teach the art of subterfuge. You mean thievery? His lip curls up in a disgusted sneer. Thieves and thievery, it always is. 5 tours I spent as a reconnaissance operative in the War of Lies. Scout is my title. Scout. I teach the ways of stealth and spycraft, not common thievery. My apologies. I meant no offense. Could you train me? Eli frowned sourly. I don't know. I've had enough of teaching petty pickpockets and curious sensates for the time being. Almost to himself, he mumbles. Not sure I agreed to do it in the first place. Perhaps because by teaching others you make them aware of your own skill? At the same time, you defend the nobility of your skills by assuring them that you're no common thief, but a scout and spy, a master of subterfuge. Eli nods, mulling over what you've said. Aye, there's no denying it. It's sort of sorry, though, when you look at it that way. I don't think so. Those of your trade are often misunderstood, thrust unfairly into the same category as footpads and brigands. There's nothing wrong with dispelling false notions. Heh, right again you are. He gives you a friendly punch to your shoulder. Thanks, Blood. He suddenly looks off into the distance. Well, enough wasting time out here. I'm heading back to the fest hall. If you still want to train, that's where you'll find me. Perhaps I'll see you there, Eli. Farewell.
What learns some new tricks?
And we gotta level up. Just get this all the way up to 100.
I'm gone.
Alright. Sarhavas Toady. Okay. The smell of alcohol wafts heavily from this young woman, and despite her dark skin, you can see that her face, beautiful but cruel looking, is flushed. She's slender but well muscled, adorned in exotic jewelry and translucent silk clothing. Numerous scars crisscross her thighs and forearms. They look to be from battle wounds. Greetings. Well, what have we here? A little tiefling gutter queen come crawling out of the hive. The woman pouts, talking as one would to a small child. Are you lost, little tiefling? Oh look, it has a tail. How cute. Okay. Anna flushes, and with a snarl, blades sprout from her fists. Now, Fiendkin, don't do that. The woman seems unconcerned as Anna draws her weapons, and clucks disapprovingly with her tongue. Careful now, or I'll remove that tail of yours and feed it to my dogs. You let Anna handle it. You have a sharp tongue on you, wee lass. Anna spits and sharpens her blades against each other. I wonder how sweet your tacky jewels and harlot's clothes will look on you when you're dead on the street. Anna, wait. You filthy spawn of the lower plains? A bitch bastard that not even a Tanari would keep in its pen. She draws her blade. Let things happen as they will.
Aye?
I'm gone.
Alright, fine. Now we're gonna mess this person up. Okay.
I'm gone.
Nothing to it. Salabash the Onyx. This tall, thin man, dressed in heavy crimson robes, has sharp, pinched features. He bows regally as you approach him. I am Salabash, oft called Salabash the Onyx, future mage tutor for the Slivic Fest Hall. You've business with me? I take it? No, just some questions. About what? Not the ward of the like, I hope. Plenty of more common folk could answer such questions, and I'd just as soon direct you to one of them. Why are you called the Onyx? A long tale, which I'll shorten to save my breath. In my youth, I was once called Salabash the Golden, for I was said to have a heart of gold. Small, hard, and yellow. Well, I cursed the fool who started that, so that he could only speak from his arse and defecate through his mouth. The Onyx appellation, along with the same lines as the Golden though, admittedly somewhat less clever, soon followed. In any case, I'm a much kinder fellow now, far less prone to laying curses and the like. I'm not certain if I deserve the name any longer. You cursed him so that what? Oh yes, you heard right. Salabash sighs happily and chuckles to himself. That sort of thing is why I'm known as the Master of Curses, you know. Okay. What did you mean by future mage tutor of the Fest Hall?
Updated my journal.
It is a prestigious position to be an official tutor in one of the Fest Hall's training chambers. It is my intention to one day take the position of mage's tutor, but the title is currently in the possession of the Lady Thorncombe. If only I could somehow prove that I'd be a superior tutor. Do you know of a cursed man called Reekwin? Oh.
Updated my journal.
Reek? Salabash's eyebrows suddenly dart up. Oh yes, Jumbo Murder Sense cursed that man, if I recall correctly. Why? Is he going to get his curse undone? Good luck. Only Jumbo can do that, you know. Where would I find this jumbo murder sense? Within the Civic Fest Hall, I suppose. A short, portly fellow with a leering smile. Never speaks, so you'd be hard-pressed to get anything out of him. Okay. Well, good. We got a direction to go with the Reekwind. Mal Manor. This thin, sharp-faced man rushes towards you, calling for your attention. Ah, sir, sir, but a moment of your time. Were you perchance here to visit the tailor? What? The man breaks in. I asked, sir, because I seem to have, offended the man. I had commissioned the hot-blooded fool to make me a costume, but he's thrown me out of his shop and will not speak with me now. So, what? The man suddenly balls his fist and shakes them at the sky. What have I done to deserve such treatment? Nothing, I say. I was a patron. It is his duty to serve me, that churlish buffoon. What did you want from me? He focuses on you again. Oh, yes, you. Could I beg of you to enter the place and fetch my costume for me, sir? I have a masquerade to go to, and have not the time to commission another tailor. And why don't you just fetch it yourself? He sneers, rolling his eyes. That porcine lout? I somehow offended the puffy, pomp-filled jackanapes. He's forbidden me to enter his store and refuses to have words with me. Imagine. Alright, I'll go get it now.
Updated my
A
journal.
most excellent, sir. 'Tis this very building right here. He points to the long, low structure just north of him. I thank you, sir.
Done.
Alright, I think that's everybody we can talk to outside, except for Namel, which I am going to save until, Oh, hold on, Jolmi's messenger. The slender young man approaches you wearing a somewhat worried expression. 1,000 pardons, sir, but I'm looking for a certain man. I think he might be able to help me. Oh? How so? I'm a messenger, sir, who seeks a man it said cannot die. A scarred man, for whom death is nothing but the most trivial of annoyances. You matched the admittedly vague description I was given, sir, and I had wondered if you were he. Yes, that's me. He nods, then bows deeply to you. A message for you, then, sir. Mistress Jolmi of the House Surma, a lady of high standing, has sent me. Mistress Jolmi would meet you in the Civic Fest Hall, where she would make a proposal, of which I know nothing to you. To you. Should you choose to seek her out, she wears green silks trimmed with gold, and has hair the color of blue steel. That is the extent of my message, sir. Farewell. Wait, where's the Civic Fest Hall?
Updated my journal.
In the northeastern corner of this part of the Clerk's ward, sir. 'Tis a large structure, it should be easy to spot. Farewell now, sir.
Done.
Alright, and, Alright, I'm gonna call the episode here.
Goldward, also known as Wanker City.
And then in the next one, we'll probably do the Taylor quest first. I'm gonna try and get the... I'm gonna go back and look at my recordings and see, what happened to the decanter of endless water. And, yeah, hopefully I can find it, because I'm a little upset that I don't have it now. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope to see y'all in the next episode.